Hi everyone, welcome to our live webinar, Authentic Conversations, Life Hacks and Budget Tips for Students in Singapore. We're excited to chat with our student marketers here at James Cook University, Singapore. Just a quick note, this session will be recorded and posted on our student marketer LinkedIn and in our YouTube channel for anyone who cannot join us live. Also, the views shared today are based on our personal experiences and might not reflect the official stance of JCUS. So if you have any questions during any point during the discussion, please drop them in the Q&A chat box below and we'll get to them at the end. So let's jump in and meet our guests. We have Amina and Shuen with us. Let's get ready. Are you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Awesome. So let's start with a quick introduction.
My name is Amina, and I'm studying Bachelor of Business majoring in Management.
My name is Shu En, and I'm studying my Bachelor's of Psychological Science.
Hi, my name is Varshini, and I'm currently doing my master's in business psychology. All right, so it's lunchtime now, and I have to ask this. As a student, what is your go-to meal spots or food spots in Singapore that are affordable and yes, safe on the wallet?
Do you want to start?
For me, I really like to go to malls because Singapore is really hot, so I really need the aircon. People usually think that malls are really expensive, but actually there are a lot of really cheap restaurants in there. For example, some malls offer student deals like Jinjja Chicken. They offer 750 meals with fries and drink. And there's also restaurants like Subway or Saizeriya that have meals for under $10. It's really cheap.
I think it's a great option because even though you're spending like $9, $10, you get all of your entire meal in one, so you don't have to spend any money for food or a little sweet treat in like a couple of hours, right? You can
Yeah.
easily finish it up super soon.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
You mentioned Saizeriya, and what I do love about Saizeriya is that there's unlimited drinks. If you get it like for $2, you can get unlimited Coke Zero, Sprite, and I think it's a really very affordable for students who do love that kind of drinks.
Wow.
And you mentioned shopping malls. Which shopping mall you think is the favorite one?
Actually, I think they're all quite similar because they all have like similar stalls.
I would love to disagree on that, but so what is your favorite mall in Singapore?
Usually I will go to the town areas like Ion,
Yes.
Paragon, Orchard area, yeah.
I like Ion Orchard as well. It's really big. It's got so many. I think there's like an affordable food court at the bottom as well. So if you don't want to spend money on restaurants, you can always go and there's a variety of selections down there. I also like Vivo City because it's close to Sentosa and also they've got a great view upstairs and they also have hawker centers and food courts within the mall, so you can spend a lot of money.
Agree with Viva City because I do love the views there on the Sentosa, especially in the sunset.
Yes.
Yes, this is some crazy view. I would say that
Love
like the sky trains that are going to Sentosa, I think.
And sometimes there's a really nice option that you can do is you can also go to like affordable places like McDonald's and everything in the mall and buy them and sit upstairs on the roof
Yeah,
and then have a great view while you're eating, right?
absolutely. I would say that it's a good spot for people who love picnics, I would say, because due to the fact that in Sentosa there are beaches.
Yes.
So I think you can get something from McDonald's, for example, the easiest way to go and just take the sky train and go to Sentosa Beach.
Beautiful. What about you? What is your go-to meal spot in Singapore?
I think my cheap and tasty go-to is the Vietnamese cafe, very close to the uni. Unlike Yen, as I know, there are like very big portions of pho bo and this chicken sandwich banh mi, usually like close to $3 to $4. I think it's a really good option for people who want to get some quick lunch between classes. If I want to go somewhere like more iconic, I would say that I will go to Lau Pa Sat.
Yeah,
Close to the central business district. I understand that prices can be a little bit more expensive there, but if you think wisely and choose whatever you want, it could be satay, noodles, or even some traditional cuisines. I would say that this is a really good choice because especially in the evening, aesthetic there is very fabulous. The slides are turned on and everything is open. You understand this mix of cultures, I would say. Yes.
This conversation is making me hungry already.
What about you?
Perfect. So for me, one of my go-to food spots is actually around Raffles Place, which is a very busy commercial district in the city. And there's a really nice Asian restaurant. I like to go there when I feel like I want to treat myself a little bit because they have like a bowl of noodles and a bowl of dumplings and drinks all for $17, which in the central business district is actually a pretty good steal. because easily over there meals can go up to like $30, right? So 17 is such a steal for students. But if I'm on a budget and I want to spend only about $3 to $5 per meal, then I head to a hawker center, which is right next to the campus. It's about 5 to 7 minutes away by walk. And for those who are unfamiliar, hawker centers are like large open air food courts with a lot of local dishes.
Yeah.
So you can get very full, satisfying meals for super cheap. Under $5, you can get a huge meal and you can be really full for hours. But apart from that, I personally love like very cute aesthetic cafes. I like to go and study there because it makes me feel like a main character. And I like to picture myself in the cafe and then people are looking at me and they think, oh wow, she must be a really nice student.
Yeah, very smart.
Exactly. But in Singapore, the cafe scene is pretty nice. There's a lot of cafes there, right? Do you guys go to cafes?
I actually went to one yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I went there to study. I feel like cafes are really a good place to study because the vibes are really nice.
Yes,
And
I
also you get
agree.
to buy a drink while you stay there. I really like Starbucks because of the strawberry acai lemonade. Or the
Oh,
mango dragon fruit lemonade is really, really good.
I've never tried those, so I can't
Agree.
speak for that.
I would add in the same list of strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit lemonade. Have you tried it?
It's really
Yes,
good.
it's really good. Yes, for some people it could be a little bit so sweet,
Mhm.
but if you wanted something refreshing after the hot, I don't know, walk outside, I think it's a really good choice.
Great. I've never tried either of the drinks you mentioned. Maybe it's my chance to go now.
Yeah, have to.
And so instead of going to all these very expensive cafes, because sometimes it can get really, like you can buy like a croissant and it goes up to $8,
Yeah.
right? But if you don't want to do that and you still want to experience the romanticization of studying, I like to pick outlets that are more in bougier locations or locations with a view, but I still choose standard chain cafes. So you can go to like Starbucks or you can go to Coffee Bean and then you can sit around like Marina Bay and they've got a great view of the water and you can still have your main character moment. So it makes it ideal for studying without spending too much money.
Maybe do you have some life hack? At what time do you need to go to Starbucks in order to find the place to sit?
Definitely not lunchtime.
Yeah,
Definitely not
absolutely.
lunchtime. And if you're going to like usually like all the other outlets in Singapore, it's pretty easy to find a spot. But if you're gonna use my hack and go to like places with bougier locations or better vibes and in like the corporate areas, do not go during the lunchtime.
Absolutely,
Do
yeah.
not go during 2 p.m. Do not go during 3 p.m. because everybody's in there. But I think evenings are really nice for studying there.
Maybe yeah, for some time, but still, some people I think they go after work to get some
Yeah.
coffee after a tough day.
Mhm.
So I would say like maybe late evening is a good choice. Like
That's a
maybe
great idea
first.
because I know some people who want to pull all-nighters, right? But they don't want to stay home. So I've seen so many videos where all these students go to Changi Airport and go to study at the Starbucks and Coffee Bean there because it's a 24-hour outlet. So
Oh,
they leave home at like 8 p.m. and they go there at 9 and then they stay there until like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. and then they come back home. And then if you want to pull an all-nighter, maybe we don't recommend it, but if you want to, that's a great hack as well. And what about any hidden gems around campus? Do you guys like any specific areas apart from your favorite Vietnamese cafe that you go to?
I would say that usually I hang out close to the Paili Bar. This is a nearby shopping mall.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because for me, if I understand that I can find something healthy,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I would say that I definitely would go to the McDonald's because their meals are so affordable, especially for students.
$5.
Yes, this
Exactly.
combo and so on. I would say my favorite one is double cheeseburger.
Oh, that sounds so good right now. But usually, I think because Paya Lebar is one MRT station away from the station that we are at, so there's three different malls, and if you want to choose any places to eat, so it can be fast food, it can be salad stops, there's so many different options for everybody there. So if you want a more healthier option, there's a lot of salad restaurants in the mall as well. And there's a little Vietnamese area, not the one that you said. There's another one near the hawker centers, and they also have like pretty affordable meals, and it's under $5, 6. And they also have like their Vietnamese drinks, Vietnamese coffee over there. And it's so good.
Yeah.
And under $10, you can finish your entire meal as well if you want like a quicker and more savory food spot around campus.
Just a quick random question.
Yes.
How many times do you usually eat in a day? Like, or you can go out to eat?
As in like during campus hours?
Yes,
Or
yes.
okay, so if I don't want to spend too much money, I go once, but I get like a full meal, so I don't want to spend any more. But if I'm not hungry sometimes, Instead of going out, there's like a waffle station in campus, and I just get like a waffle and I get like a tea or something, and it's very fulfilling. It's a very Singaporean way of having lunch as well, but that's fulfilling on its own.
Okay, what about you?
For me, I don't really go out because my breaks are usually 1 hour only, so I don't have time to go out. So I usually go to school to buy the Korean store.
Ooh,
I
that's
really
a good
like their kimchi soup.
Oh,
It's really
for
good.
sure.
And it's really cheap also. It's about 550 if I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheaper than outside. So
Yes, I agree. Like, if you guys don't want to go outside to malls and buy food, there's a selection of different cuisines in Singapore, in our campus as well. And it's all very affordable for students. It's under $8. You can get like a full meal and drinks as well. Okay, so now that we've talked about the food aspect, let's go a little bit about monthly budget as a student. How do you guys manage it? Do you use any apps or do you use any simple tricks? Like, what about you?
Honestly, can't say that I use any apps or something like this. As a student living alone in Singapore,
Oh.
I would say that budgeting is really key to surviving and thriving here. I would say that I try to keep it simple but consistent. Usually I aim like for 800, 900 per month. It's not, of course, including rent, but usually it's like food and transport and phone bills. So tricks I think that really work for me. The first one, cash out amount of money for the week and not extra top ups during the week in case like this is some really necessary unexpected event. The second one I would say that cook at home, that it's really works for me because I do love cooking and I know in which places it's better to buy products like fresh and cheap. And I would say that cooking during the weekends, it's a really good choice in order to avoid some spontaneous takeout. And the one last thing I would say, always compare prices because there always could be discounts, maybe for students, even in the apps like Grab or Food Panda. So I would say like making this a little bit comparison analysis is a really good choice.
Sure. Do you usually recommend buying food, like using food delivery apps, or are you like a meal prep person? Like, what do you recommend?
Honestly, it depends, I think, on my mood. Yes, sometimes I can wake up and I understand that today I don't want to cook at all. Yeah, let's try to get something outside. Or in this case, I can order food, but of course, like it's very, very rarely. Like, yeah, absolutely not that often. What about you guys?
for me, I actually live with my parents, so I'm quite thankful for that because if I don't live with my parents, I have to spend as much as you, which I don't have the money for. And my parents will cook for me at home, so most of my meals are eaten at home. And they also give me allowance, about $55 per week, which doesn't sound like a lot, but actually it really helps me because I don't go out much. So the $55 actually is enough for me to pay for all my food, for sweet treats also.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you spend it just on food, or do you like to spend on your personal things like skincare and all of that? Like,
For my allowance, usually I spend on food only, but if I want to spend more on my wants like makeup, skincare, clothes, I have another bank account with my savings and I try not to touch it, but if I want to treat myself, I will take money from there.
And something interesting to note is that for international students, like you cannot work here in Singapore, so you have to make sure that you have enough allowance for spending money on food or whatever that you want to spend on money on. So that I think that's a key thing that we have to mention. And me personally, I don't live with my parents. Like I don't live alone. I live with my parents, and I know you miss your family so much. So I'm not too worried about monthly expenses. Like she mentioned, I don't have to worry about rent and everything and buying food and cooking at home.
Good
Like,
for you. Good for you.
good for me for sure. Nothing beats home cooked food for sure. So I usually only spend my own money on food or my favorite products to buy or any stationery for university. But for apps, I like to use this app called Notion, and it's a productivity app, and I highly recommend it for anybody like me who likes to put every single detail of their life on the app. Like I like put all my notes for uni there. I do like a budget tracking system where I put in like the names of what I've bought and then like a category list. So it's is it under food? Is it under stationery? And then I put how much I spend. and then I put whether I spent it using my card or using my cash. Like, I think it's a very efficient way to lay out so you can see where you're spending a lot, where you're not spending much, where to balance all where your budget is going. And I think it's really nice. And I practically like my whole life is on it. So you can create like a custom template. They do have a paid version, but for students, the free version is enough. Like you can create custom templates, you can make it look really nice. And I think that is really good.
So, in your opinion, you said that you trying to track everything. In which category you think you spend most?
Definitely food. Because like usually when I go out with my friends a lot, that's when I spend like a lot of money for food, right? But on campus life, I think it's easier to save a little bit of cash because we go to hawker centers and we go to like the campus food in our campus, right? There's like the selection of food here. And as girls, and we spend a lot of like money on skincare and
Yes, of course.
definitely. So I know exactly where my money is going. So I'm able to play around with the money. So if I spend a lot of food, like money on food this week, then I'll try to make sure I can balance it for the next week. Trying my best to balance it out for this week.
I think it's a really good strategy for
Exactly.
budgeting. I think I have to try it,
You
but I'm
definitely
not
have to.
sure, don't promise.
The moment it just takes a week to get used to it, but then after you create a system, like the next every single time I make a purchase, I'm like, I have to like put it on my list. It becomes almost immediate, so you know exactly where your money is going. Like, what about you? Do you use any apps or do you write it by hand? Like, what do you do?
For me, I prefer to go with the flow because I don't really like to restrict myself to track all my expenses. So for me, what I do is I will make saving money like a habit. I will try to subconsciously, it's a subconscious effort. I will try to spend less on food, my daily essentials. And if I ever want to splurge, for example, on Grab when I'm late for school, it wouldn't affect my spending too much.
But have you ever gone over budget? Like, how do you deal with that if you decided to only spend $50 in a week and then you end up spending like $200? Like, how do you balance that? How do you manage it?
I'll refrain from sweet treats.
I think that's a really nice way to do that because it's a price to pay. So the next time, if you're like, oh, I want to spend money on sweet treats, then you can control yourself and say that, oh, I'm not going to spend a lot of money on food for sure. Right. And I guess this discussion is getting very interesting, and I'm sure that our audience have burning questions as well. But let's go a little bit deeper. As students, what is your go-to student discount or student perk that you swear by? Is it any watching area, gym, transport? Like, is there any deal that students should not miss at all?
I do love this question because as a person living alone in Singapore, I would say that student perks are really lifesavers here. As I remember, some cinemas like Golden Village, they offer ticket under $7.
Wow.
If you come before 6 p.m. and you just flash your student pass and you're done. I would say that some MRT hacks that I think new students have to know about. Always try to travel not in the rush hour because there will be less crowded, of course, and you have more probability to have a seat while your trip. And the best combo lines that really works for me, I would say downtown line plus circle line, and it really saves a lot of time. I would say like 30 minutes.
Wow, and trains are pretty speedy as well, and then you always get seats. Because I live in like the East-West line, so I never get a seat in the morning. Like even if I leave at 7:30, 8:30, until 11:30, no seats on the train, and then a whole bunch of people get down at CBD area, which is the Central Business District, and then around there after that, I get a seat, which doesn't really matter because uni's 3 stops away. So I never get a seat. But what about you? Is there any perk that you want that you would recommend to our students?
For me, I like to go to places like the beach or Gardens by the Bay because they are free.
Yeah.
You don't need to spend additional money to enter those places, and it's really nice because the scenery is really, really nice. And my favorite is Sentosa Beach.
Yes.
The one called Siloso Beach. Because you can see both the sunrise and sunset there, and
Wow.
it's really cooling. If you're comparing with Singapore's weather, where it's like really, really hot. So I like to go there to cool down and have a picnic there.
But how do you search like the information, maybe how to find the information where people provide it, where to find some student discounts or some events.
I usually like to use TikTok as my search engine because there's a
Yes.
lot of informal information out there. People like to post about food discounts, movie deals on there, and a lot of hidden gems also that only Singaporeans will know. Usually, international students may not know about this. So it's a good place to do your research.
I agree. Like people, TikTok is very underrated. A lot of people just think it's for dancing. But if you search up like cheap places to go in Singapore, student discounts in Singapore, free activities, there's a ton of videos that you can watch and you can really do all your research in TikTok. Like nobody even uses Google anymore, at least Gen Z. We use TikTok for everything. And as for me, lately I've been on a museum roll. So I've been going to different museums all the time, like yes, Asian Civilizations Museum, National Gallery, National Museum. And the best part is that admission is free for students. So you can just flash your student card and they will allow you in free of cost. And there's so many museums. I think it's a really nice way, especially for international students, to come here and learn about culture in Singapore because there's a museum called the Asian Civilizations Museum, and it's all the things you know need to know about, not about just Singapore, but also all the different Asian countries. I think it's a very cultural trip that you can take to learn more about history. And for when I was planning to attend university, obviously we need a new laptop or we need a new iPad, and Apple Education Savings was a lifesaver for me. Like if you want to get a new laptop or a phone or an iPad, they easily save up to 300 to 200 $300, which is such a save when you're starting university for the first time. I think you just have to go on like uni days, which is like a affiliation for Apple, and you have to register that yes, I am a student. And then once you're done with that, you can buy online, or you can go up to stores and flash your student card, and they'll give you the discount.
Did you know about it?
Yeah,
I didn't.
I got my
know
message
that. I didn't know.
So the
about
next
it.
time you do that, I just saved you $200.
Okay.
And if you want to buy a new uni bag or something, I think the best option to go to is Charles & Keith, which is a Singaporean fashion brand for bags and shoes, and they provide 10% discounts for students. So once again, flash your student card, and it's definitely worth asking, especially when you know what you want to shop. And what about you guys? What is the best student deal that you've ever got?
Well, I would say I want to mention about some cultural aspect.
Right.
You were talking about museums and galleries. I would say that for new international students, it's a good spot to go to the gardens, by the way, because
Yes.
you have different areas there. Some areas could be for free, some areas could be you need to pay where. But for me, that really worked was Cloud Forest. I would
Yes.
say yes in Gardens by the Bay. I showed them the student pass and that I'm a long-term pass holder, and they cut the half of the price.
Wow.
Yeah, and that really worked for me. And like, I think it's a really good spot to send photos to your family because you can have a really good pictures with flowers, with some waterfalls. Yes, it's like
Yes.
amazing.
For all our viewers who don't know, Gardens by the Bay is one of the top tourist spots in Singapore. There's Cloud Forest, there's an attraction called Flower Dome. It's beautiful. You get the view of the entire city there, and there's a lot of options that you can go for free. Like I think Marina Barrage, you can go there for free and have a little picnic over there. I've seen a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And you can go to picnics, and I think Sentosa, you mentioned Sentosa, right? Every weekend they do a screening of free movies during the weekends. So you just bring your friends, bring your picnic tables, your picnic mats, whatever, sit there. And I think they talk about which movies they're playing at least a month in advance. So you can Google it up and check out which movie you want to watch, and it's free.
Is
Not
there
just for students, for
any
everybody.
official website where you can actually like find the schedule for the month in advance?
I think if I'm not wrong,
Sentosa's website.
yeah,
Sentosa's
yeah,
website.
Sentosa's website. But usually, if you just search it up, there's a lot of other local magazines here that also talk about it. So the first result that pops up, there you go. You're good to go.
Absolutely.
Right. I love where this discussion is heading, but let's go a little bit back into the topic. How do you balance treating yourself and spending money? Like, do you budget things for bubble tea, for weekend plans or shopping, or do you like to go with the flow?
Honestly, as a student, international student here, I understand and realize that actually having fun doesn't mean cutting a lot of money.
Yes.
Because in Singapore, there are a lot of places where you can go for free. I do love about Singapore is that there are a lot of park areas where you can like even rent a bicycle to ride with your friends,
Yes.
like night walks, night talks. I think it's a really good thing. But talking about treating yourself, I would say that usually I do set aside some part of the money in the beginning of the month for some unnecessary things like bubble tea. But maybe, guys, you think that bubble tea is a really essential.
It is a necessity. I would say.
Yes, for bubble tea, for example, for online shopping or some outside walks with my friends. So it's okay for me. And usually it's not a really big amount, but it's okay for me. I think my budget is very flexible because I understand that during the week I can spend a little bit less and I can spend a little bit more. I just know my limits, know the borders, and I don't want to go outside of them. So it's okay for me absolutely to be flexible in that moment.
Okay.
Yes.
What
So
about you? Are you a impulse buyer or are you a very calculated buyer? What do you do?
I try to be calculated.
Try?
Yeah. I'm susceptible to impulse buys, but
Yes.
how I try to prevent that is by adding to cart. So when I like something, I will try to add it to cart and leave it there for like maybe a few weeks.
Oh.
And usually after a few weeks, I find that I actually don't need the item anymore. So that really helps me save a lot of money.
That's interesting because sometimes like I cannot do that. Props to you for doing that. I cannot do that. But sometimes if you search up like little bookmarks and they have like a little discount pages that you can add where it's like automatically the promo codes would be applied to your checkout and it saves you a good $20 sometimes. Like I've seen when I order like clothes online and some of the promo because I've like put the bookmark already on my Chrome page and it automatically applies the promo code sometimes. So for impulse buyers, you can try to find some of those websites that do give you promo codes on access. But what about you guys? Are you an impulse buyer or?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely, I am. Sometimes I'm looking into some things in my room and I understand that why did I buy it? Why? I don't need it. It just like stands here for a while and I haven't even used it. But what I'm trying to do now to apply this approach, like to think about the purchase maybe for one day at least or a week. And after some thoughts, I understand that, okay, I don't need this. I don't need this. And it really helps me to understand what do I need for real or what just like impulsive thoughts.
Interesting. And me personally, like I mentioned, I use a budgeting app called Notion. And so I don't really spend too much money except on food and the occasional like matcha lattes or bubble teas, which is a necessity, by the way. And my favorite like skincare and makeup products. And I still go out with lunch with my friends sometimes, and I try not to go overboard because I think that it's about being aware of what brings you joy.
Of course.
Exactly. And budgeting for it. So instead of constantly just saying no to everything, I try to space out my spending and be very intentional with it. So sometimes it's okay if you're an impulse buyer. It's just that, you just have to go with it.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So that way you can still enjoy yourself without being guilty. For sure. Do you find it hard to say no to social plans when you're going out just because of money?
I always say yes. So I'll just say yes and I'll go for it and I'll worry about the money later.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I try to solve the problem when the problem like in front of me. So that's why usually when I understand, I'm like, okay, this is the problem of the Amina in the future. Like, okay, it doesn't matter.
I think this applies to local students a lot because we work we live with our parents, right? So if I don't want to spend too much money and I'll just keep my allowance aside and then I'll go knock up on my dad's room just like, hi, nice to see you. Can I get like an extra $20?
Yeah.
So it's really nice sometimes to do that way and to be with my family and ask for like a little money so I can still get what I want and still maintain my budget, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a really essential part, like try to treat yourself a little bit more often. Because from my perspective, I would say that it really gives me some motivation, like to
Exactly.
study, especially when I understand like, yeah, I finished this and I treat myself like this, and after that, this process really works for me.
Interesting. That's very nice because we're students, we're hardworking all the time, we study all the time, we pull all-nighters, and sometimes it's okay to spend a little money for that brings you joy, to get a little extra sweet treat, to get an extra drink. Like sometimes if it motivates you, it's a really good thing to
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
Right. And I'm sure all of our peers and audience that are watching have learned a lot from all of us here today. And do you have any final advice for any international students who are new to Singapore and are trying to navigate living costs? Like, what do you wish that someone told you for the first time when you were here?
Okay, the one thing that I wish someone told me when I just came alone in Singapore, I would say just track everything from the first month and don't panic at all. I understand that this is absolutely maybe for you new country, new culture, and everything can be seem a little bit more expensive and you buy everything and after that maybe regret about it. But once you track your expenses, you'll quickly see on which category you spend most and you understand that maybe you have to find a new place for taking some items. And I would say that the second thing is just ask seniors, ask your friends in the university, make friends and ask from them, especially from local. Yes,
We know
students,
everything that you
yes,
want to know.
they know hidden gems and maybe just like ask for advice. And I think it's absolutely normal thing that really worked for me because when I just came, I made some acquaintances and friends here, and I asked them, and actually they helped me a lot. So I think that's why we are here today to help you guys understand maybe in which areas you can be more improved about your budgeting. And people in GCU were very helpful, I
Of
think,
course.
and it's absolutely okay to ask some questions. And you're not supposed to figure it out on your own. We're always here to help you.
Exactly. And JCU Singapore is a very vibrant campus. There's a lot of people from all over the world. So if you don't want to ask like local students because you feel like they don't understand the struggle, there's so many different people from like all over the world. So you can find your own communities and ask them, what is like the budget for here? How do you compare costs from back home and from
Yes.
Singapore? And for me, one of the first things I wish other students knew is that tap water in Singapore is completely safe to drink. You don't have to buy a whole pack of water bottles here. It's all safe. So a lot of people who come here for the first time, they think that you need to buy these huge packs of bottled water, but you save a lot of money just drinking tap water, and you can also bring your own like reusable plastic bottles. And there's water filling stations, I think all over Singapore, to be fair. In Singapore, in our campus, there's so many water filling stations. You just need to buy a bottle or just have your own reusable bottle and fill it everywhere you go. And also don't feel pressured to spend a lot of money outside in restaurants just because your friends are going. Like hawker centers here are very good for affordable food, and the public transport is also really cheap and reliable. And there's little to no delays in the transport as well, so you don't have to take grabs all the time to commute. Like transport is very like reliable here, and you also get sometimes you get discounted student fares when you use your student travel card. And lastly, you should always ask about student discounts.
Yes.
Like even if you're not sure they would give you, the best thing that you can do is just flash your student card. So it's not just for tech problems or for going to all these different places.
Yeah.
They may have it, they may not, but it does not hurt to ask them, do you have a student discount? I think it really saves a lot of money that way.
Absolutely. Just to try to ask.
Exactly. And Singapore may seem really expensive at first, but there's a lot of ways to save, even if you just know where to look.
Yeah, this is true. Do you have any final advice that you want to?
I want to like kind of promote an app called Shopee. So because Singapore, physical shops are really, really expensive, everything because of high rent and stuff. So I feel that if you ever want to compare prices, always go for Shopee because in my personal experience, Shopee always has everything cheaper. No matter what you buy.
It
For
does.
example, there was once in Sephora, I wanted to buy a setting spray. It was $50. But on Shopee, I found it for $23.
Wow.
It's authentic because Shopee has this thing called Shopee Mall. So everything there is authentic. And if it's not, you can return it.
Oh, interesting. I think that's a good option as well. And I think Shopee doesn't just have like makeup products or anything. It has clothes, it has like phone cases if you need a new stylus for it. It has everything. So you can definitely get more.
What about prices? Very good question to know. What about prices in 7-Eleven and Fair Price? Is it true that in 7-Eleven things are cheaper than in Fair Price?
No,
Definitely
7-Eleven is
not.
really
It's so
expensive.
expensive. Like if you go to like a normal store and then because I'm a huge fan of these pack of brownies. And if I go to the normal store, they're like $3.50. But if I go to 7-Eleven, they sell it for $5.50.
Water is $3 there.
Oh my God. And at Fair Price, if you want to buy a bottle, it's 35 cents. And
Yeah.
$4, $3, 35 cents. There's a
That's true.
huge discount. So like try your best to avoid 7-Eleven because a lot of people think that because there's a lot of 7-Elevens or their versions in different countries, right? So they believe it's almost the same price ranging, but it's very different here in Singapore.
But I think talking about water, the best option is just to buy your own bottle and
Mhm.
fill it with, and you see the water stations because they are literally everywhere. And we mean it by the word literally. Like it's everywhere, absolutely.
You
Exactly.
can drink the tap water also.
Yes,
You can
yes,
take it as well.
that's the thing.
Perfect. So thank you all for sharing your experiences and insights. And we'll now take a look at any questions we have from our viewers. So if there are any, please type them in the Q&A chat box and we'll get to them shortly. All right, we've got some great questions coming in. Let's start with the first one. Okay, we have, I think it's so easy to travel when you're in Singapore. Do you have the urge to travel to neighboring countries? Considering the price and short distance, how do you budget for it? Who here travels a lot first among the three of us?
I'm not sure about you guys. Do you travel a lot?
Not as much actually. I mean, I think it can be different for international students because you have to figure it out in your own budget.
Yeah, because okay, so then I could say that I'm the most traveler here. Because when I moved to Singapore last year, I was really shocked by how many countries it's surrounded by, and the flight tickets, yeah, for the tickets, it's not that expensive, I would say. And I thought that I even said to my parents, I think it's a sin not to go to the nearby countries
Of course.
while you're in Singapore. So that's why I went to China, I went to Thailand, I went to Vietnam, and about budgeting for traveling, I would say that again compare prices.
Mhm.
This comparison analysis really works, I think, in every sphere wherever you go. Because I know you can compare prices between, for example, for the hotel or where you want to stay in, like booking.com and trip.com and maybe some other websites that you know. But of course, like while you're making a friends in the uni, of course, you can maybe ask the question like, is it okay? Or maybe do you know something, some good spots to stay in? And I think that it's a really good thing to note, like
Mm,
just to compare again, and really
exactly.
works for
And
me.
I think Singapore is in a prime spot on earth, to be fair, because there's so many countries nearby. And I know a lot of people who go even on study breaks for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They go all over to Thailand, they go to Indonesia, they go to Malaysia. And I know some of our friends that like go to JB, which is closer to where you live than uni. And they usually go to JB for the morning and they come back at night and they like to go there to get their hair done, get their nails done because it's a little bit affordable by the price range. So you can go to Malaysia nearby, you can go to Thailand, you can use all these booking websites because they give like a little hotel and aircraft like combination sometimes. So you can book the things at like really cheap rates, comparatively cheap rates for sure. So thank you, Charlotte, for that amazing question. And second one, how much do you set aside for party or clubbing funds? It seems expensive in Singapore for that, but hard to avoid. Who here parties and
Mm,
clubs?
can't say that I'm going out so much.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would say like of course there is some amount and I would add it to the theme of treatment.
Right.
Yes, like to save some money for some out out nights, evening, I don't know, with your friends.
Of course.
Yes, I think that yes, for some people it could be seen that it's really expensive, but of course it depends on the place where you want to go.
Exactly.
But of course, if you save money, for example, and you know that that's the event that you really want to go to, I think like saving and using money from your saving account, it's a really good thing.
Mm.
I, for example, like that went to Lady Gaga concert.
Wow.
This year, this is
That's
true.
amazing.
Yeah. I know, yes, the prices were pretty expensive, but we got it like in 2 days before her concert.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And it was surprising that it was not sold out. But of course, the places were not like really good. We haven't seen her like very close to. But the main thing about Lady Gaga, we have to hear her own voice.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's why, of course, I used the money from my savings that I had. Like,
And I'm glad you brought this up because I know so many people go to different concerts, right? And they all fall prey to scalpers. And I think the best way to avoid that is to go on official websites instead of going to scalpers because they sell 40 times more expensive. Like I went to the Taylor Swift concert last year and my ticket was like 200 something, but the same area, a scalper sold it for $4,000. I'm not kidding. So please go for authentic websites when you make your purchases.
True.
And for this question, I'm not a party person, I don't club, but I do have friends that do that. And typically they always talk about like going in groups and then and sometimes it's like cheaper for ladies, I think something like that.
Yes, as I know, Wednesdays, this is a
Yeah.
ladies' night in
Oh,
some
okay.
of the clubs. Yes,
Sometimes it's free also.
yes,
Free? Okay.
yes.
On Wednesdays.
Oh, cool. So there's and like because there's a lot of people that go out and have fun at night, so you can always ask around. Of course, JCU is a very helpful place. You can ask around, and they usually compare prices, just like you said, and they find that like drinks are more cheaper and like $20, and sometimes the events tickets are much cheaper by 30-40 bucks. So asking around definitely helps a lot for
And
sure.
also, I think you should save money on the alcohol. Like usually people before they club, they pre-drink, right? It's better to buy drinks from places like Scarlet Supermarket. It's a mall in Singapore. They sell drinks for really cheap. Don't buy from the clubs because they're really, really overpriced.
Okay, so that's something interesting to note for our viewers. All right, so thank you all for tuning in today and for your fantastic questions. If what you've heard today sparks your interest in studying abroad, we'd be delighted to have you join the James Cook University Singapore family. And over here, you can dive into the exciting culture of Singapore, the vibrant Singapore campus, and work towards your academic and career dreams. There's something special here for everyone. And are you ready to embark on an exciting journey? Head over to our website to explore how to apply to all of our different programs. And if you have any questions or if you'd like to hear more from our students, like our student marketers over here, please connect with us for insider tips and experiences via this QR code. And we're here to support you for every step of your journey here. So thank you so much once again for joining us. And a big thank you to our student marketers here for sharing their experiences. We cannot wait to see you at JCUS. Take care and goodbye.
Bye bye.